The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. President Bongbong Marcos is tapping the GSIS to manage the funds under the revamped pension program for the military and uniformed personnel. Marcos Jr. expressed his gratitude to the state insurer for taking part in the ongoing multi-sectoral discussions on the matter. The president said reforming the MUP pension system is a monumental task amid fears of a possible fiscal collapse due to its ballooning costs.
I thank GSIS for your involvement and participation because your experience and your acquired skills have been an important part of this ongoing process. The pension system of our military and uniformed personnel is such a monumental task. We genuinely recognize that it is as important, urgent, and humanitarian as the pension system of all civilian government employees.
GSIS President Vic Veloso said they would invest funds collected for possible adjustments for the pension of service personnel.
Yung pong pag-invest ng mga pondo na nakokolekta para sa maaring pagbabago ng paano magkakaroon ng bagong pensyon ang ating military uniform personnel, kami ang gagawa. So kami magmamanage, kami maghanap paano mapapalago ang pera.
The leaders of the Senate and House of Representatives each tout their respective outputs before Congress adjourns on June 2. Among them, the approval of some of the government's priority bills. According to Senate President Mig Zubiri, the Senate has approved a total of 6 measures that have been enacted into law. Zubiri also touts that the Senate has passed 22 other bills now up for the President's signature. However, Zubiri highlighted the Senate's passage of 8 of the 42 measures identified by the Legislative Executive Advisory Council as priority bills.
A highlight among our accomplishments is our approval of 8 of the priority measures of the administration. Of these, 3 have been signed into law: the SIM Registration Act, the Act postponing the barangay elections, and the AFP fixed term law. But while this scoreboard shows the quantity of our output, it cannot even begin to describe the quality of each. True to our tradition, we do not agree to proposals without discussion, nor embrace ideas without debate. We approve before we approve. We do not trade scrutiny for speed.
Meanwhile, House Speaker Martin Romualdez touts that the lower chamber has approved 33 out of 42 priority measures. Given the lower chamber's performance, Romualdez says public opinion of the House has been on the rise.
With your incessant support, the House of Representatives has approved on third and final reading 33 out of the 42 priority measures listed in our common legislative agenda. Of the 33, the unity that we have shown in the performance of duty and our relentless action in keeping the legislative mill grinding to full efficiency are now reaping the fruits of our beloved institution. Public opinion on the performance and approval rating of the House of Representatives is fast reaching an all-time high.
Former Bangko Sentral Deputy Governor Diwa Ginigundo raises the possibility of higher taxes once the Maharlika Investment Fund is officially signed into law. Ginigundo warns Filipinos may have to pay more taxes as the Maharlika Fund will source 50 billion pesos of its seed money from the national government. To be able to recover this, the government will either have to borrow externally or raise taxes. Ginigundo says if the government opts for the latter, the burden will likely fall on consumers.
Ang magbabayad tayo ng mas mataas na buwis o kaya mas magbabayad tayo ng mas mataas na presyo ng mga bilihin o kaya ng serbisyo, depende kung saan ipapataw yung buwis.
The warning comes after the House of Representatives adopted the Senate version of the Maharlika Investment Fund bill. This means the bill now only awaits the President's signature to become a law. Some lawmakers from the lower chamber stood against what they described as railroading of the measure and even called it a scam.
creating a sovereign fund cannot possibly address the issues of the labor sector and will make public funds more vulnerable to abuse and corruption.
We're done with several scams, the Coco Levy Fund scam, and more recently, promises na agad ay magkakaroon tayo ng 20 pesos na kilo ng bigas, pamamahagi ng gold bars, at ngayon po, Maharlika Investment Scam.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Metro Pacific Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan sat down on thought leaders with Cathy Yang, where he discussed MPIC's plan to go private, as well as the conglomerate's future goals. MVP also shared his insights on the first year of the Marcos Jr. administration. Here's the report.
Metro Pacific Investments Corporation is eyeing to unlock its potential as a private company. MPIC is planning to delist from the stock exchange as First Pacific, GT Capital Holdings, and Japan's Mitsui have earlier announced a tender offer to buy a minority stake in the infrastructure conglomerate. The consortium is looking to buy out the minority shareholders, owning a combined 36.6% at 4 pesos and 63 centavos a share. The consortium says MPIC's delisting would be better aligned with their objective of investing in long-term infrastructure projects in the country. On thought leaders with Cathy Yang, MPIC Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan says they plan to maximize the value of the corporation as a private firm by listing their subsidiaries such as Maynilad.
It will be unlocked by way of listing the various subsidiaries. Maynilad is required under the its new franchise to list within 5 years. So I believe in 2026 they should be listed. We have to list. We will list the Tollways Group perhaps next year. So I think these are businesses that are focused on tollways as tollways, water as water.
Aside from infrastructure development, Pangilinan says the MVP Group is looking to concentrate on the food and logistics industries to provide the basic needs of Filipinos.
Food is an area where the country needs help in growing our food, and I think it's sad that we have to import increasingly food items. We're even looking at aquaculture now, and logistics. The logistics cost in this country is too expensive.
Pangilinan adds that the group's primary goals include both promoting sustainability and assisting people in enhancing their lives through financial and business investments. In terms of transportation, meanwhile, Pangilinan said that they are targeting a barrier-less tollway system in the country. Pangilinan says that having no barriers in toll booths will allow for an even smoother time in highways such as NLEX and SLEX.
We need to have the software platform to be able to tag you as you enter whichever tollways or toll booths, and to identify you where you exit and automatically calculate the fare.
Also on Thought Leaders, MVP shared his insights on the first year of the Marcos Jr. administration. Pangilinan says he is optimistic over the current course that the administration is taking, adding that Marcos's first year is a, quote, refreshing change from the previous administration.
We need to have the software platform to be able to tag you as you enter whichever tollways or toll booths, and to identify you where you exit and automatically calculate the fare.
Arian Kalumbiran, we are One News.
President Bongbong Marcos hopes for an improved agriculture sector with the help of Thailand. Marcos Jr. said Thailand's private sector has achieved what he called a value chain, which is also possible for the Philippines. On Tuesday, officials of Bangkok-based conglomerate Charoen Pokpan Group paid a courtesy call to the president at Malacanang. The chief executive welcomed the group's plan to invest some $2.5 billion in the agriculture sector of the Philippines. Malacanang said these investments will include the use of new technology in swine, poultry, shrimp, and food industries.
Nabuo na nila sa Thailand privately, they're a private company. Nabuo na nila yung sa Thailand yung value chain and more hanggang sa marketing, all the way from R&D. I know that we can do this because all the elements that are necessary are here. We have a good workforce, we have land, we have good scientists, we have good agriculturists, good agronomists, highly experienced, we have researchers.
And that's it for this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.